First thing I remember in this one is I was walking down a front yard intending to enter a building, and there was a fence in the front yard. It's the shape of a fence. And this very powerful wind started blowing, kind of like a hurricane, but there was no rain. So I guess that would be a tornado. Anyways, it was blowing me back away from the house, and there was a chain around my neck, and the chain was pulling me in the opposite direction of the wind, so the chain was choking me. So I slipped my head out of the chain, and I saw the chain there on the floor in some mud, and it was swirling around. Kind of like, it was as if the mud was giving the chain energy and causing it to coil like that. And it reminded me of like a DNA, or not a DNA, like a protein coiling up like that. And so it made me think of like the first primordial protein that might have formed in the primordial ooze. So I went to pick up the chain, but the wind blew me onto one side of the fence and it blew the chain onto the other side of the fence. So I tried to fly towards the chain, but the wind then blew the chain off of the fence and past it onto some trees that were behind. Well, onto one tree among several trees. So I started walking towards the tree, and I was holding onto the fence with one hand. The tree was like way over there, but as I was walking, I was just like pulling the fence with me, and it was really like flexible. So I unwrapped the chain from the tree, and then I saw that Dumbledore was standing on the inside of the fence, and he said something like, "Oh, it's you." And then I became aware that I was now Daniel Radcliffe. I was still lucid, but I was just Harry Potter. So then the dream changed, and I think I lost lucidity. And it just became a dream about some witches. And I wasn't even really in that part of the dream. I was kind of just watching it like a movie. But eventually I was in the dream again, and I was lucid again. And so I walked out of that house that I had been in, and it was still windy. So my car was parked in the street out front, and so I was walking toward it, but there was this really creepy lady who was wearing red and black. She was kind of just hunched over, and so I kind of like blew her away with force hand motions. Like I just did that and visualized her flying away, and she did. I know that's kind of mean, but she was scary and not real. So then I went to fly towards my car, but the wind was blowing against me, so it was kind of hard to get there. I think the wind in my dream might have been caused by I've been riding my bike every day, and a lot of these days it's been really windy, so I'm struggling against the wind, pedaling real hard. So it might have been that. So then I tried this thing that Tifero suggested, which is mental flying. So I tried to just fly by visualizing what it would look like if I was flying. Actually, I've done that before when I've had trouble flying. But I did it again. And it worked for a little bit, but after a few seconds, it kind of stopped working. And then some more creepy people started appearing. They were kind of Slender-Man-ish. So they were slender people with no faces and no hair and just white skin, like paper white. So I kind of like Hulk smashed the ground, and like a whole wave started happening, you know what I'm talking about? And it kind of blew them all away. And that was pretty much it. That was when the dream ended. Unfortunately, those witches in the middle there weren't doing anything interesting, so I just decided not to go into detail with that. So I had pretty poor control on this one, even though I was laying on my back and everything. I did the wake back to bed and all the stuff. I think it might have been because I had rotisserie chicken for dinner that day, which is a little greasy. So I've started eating a bit healthier now that it's the new year. I'm no longer eating like cookies or cakes or things of that nature, no soda. And I've definitely been having way more lucid dreams, it seems. However, not a lot of them have that good control. So I'm thinking about what to do about that. One thing I'm going to try tonight is doing my wake back to bed an hour earlier, which might help. I also want to try having blueberries during my wake back to bedtime, because they definitely seem to make me think a lot clearer. So might help. During the ones where I do have pretty good control, though, I have been getting the hang of dream chaining. So that's pretty good. Also, I had been doing this thing because I want to remember to do reality checks throughout my lucid dreams in order to stabilize them and make them last longer. but I just never remembered to do that when I'm in a lucid dream. And one thing I was trying to do is, while I'm doing my wake back to bed, I just was repeating to myself, reality checks throughout the lucid dream, reality checks throughout the lucid dream, and kind of visualizing myself doing that in a lucid dream. But pretty much every day that I tried that, it didn't work. And the only times that I did do reality checks, remember to do them in the lucid dream, pretty much the only days I remembered that was days when I didn't repeat that to myself. So not only does it not work, but it seems to do the opposite of help. So I haven't been doing that lately. But that's pretty much it for now. We'll see how it goes tonight. So thanks for watching. See you next time.